Tim. Welcome to What You Want. Thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Vacheron Constantin Day-Date Jubilee 1755, 40 millimeters and 18 karat rose gold. You can see this Jubilee 1755 on our website, whatyouwant.com. Take it home if you like, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, What You Want Inc. Now, when you turn a quarter of a millennium old, what do? Well, if you're Vacheron Constantin, you throw yourself a party and you build yourself a watch. And that's the timepiece you see here on my wrist. For 2005, the 250th anniversary of the company, Vacheron issued this 501-piece limited edition in rose gold. And you can see 40 millimeters across the round portion of the case, 50 millimeters from beautifully sculpted lug extremity to the opposite extremity. It is 12.5 millimeters thick, and I want to emphasize that as the quintessential haut-de-gamme dress watch company, Vacheron Constantin is careful to give you a nice curved case flank and stepped lug so that this one can slide easily under a tight sleeve or dress cuff. Now, historically, Vacheron's been well known for the beautifully sculpted lugs that really have set its case designs apart through the years. Watches like the 6111 chronometer of the 1950s, the Corne de Vache chronograph, the cow's horn chronograph of the late 50s, early 60s, exhibit that to good effect. And Vacheron starts a new tradition with this Jubilee 1755, using elaborately sculpted and beautifully character-endowed multifaceted lugs that double as an excellent ergonomic device. What they do is they cant downward. You can see almost in sports watch fashion, they stay close hewn to the case, being set back a little bit from its edge, so that in combination with this semi-conforming strap and spring bar, the watch can easily bend down and around a smaller wrist. Now, it's a perfect size because at 40 millimeters, it's modern, but it's not oversized. And because Vacheron does a great job of including a high ratio of dial to bezel, the case itself doesn't play as overbearing or strident. Rather, it accents the main event at center. You can see the gorgeous coining at the very edge of the bezel, so subtle, turning that character line into something more, giving it just a little bit of hard-edged definition, a little bit of masculinity, to contrast with the sensuous, feminine qualities of that gorgeous compound curved case. The sensuous qualities of that case with the beautiful splayed out, almost bowed curvature at the edge really capture the imagination, and they whet the appetite for this dial. Now, looking at the dial itself, you can see the gorgeous rose engine guilloche work that's been done on the center. It's a beautiful repeating motif, and you can see the elements that are awash in this sea of finely grained guilloche work include a day, a date, a power reserve, a little reminder on the dial itself of the Geneva heritage. You can see the emblem of the Geneva seal in an applied rose gold element, but what you might not see is the very subtle 1755 to 2005 secret signature at 12 o'clock. This is one you're going to have to see on the high-res photos on our website, whatyouwant.com, because quite honestly, even if you play this thing in 1080p, you're never going to see it in the video. This one's worth a second look. Now, all of the elements are beautifully styled, from the applied rose gold elements, the indices, the Roman numerals, which are beautifully faceted for reflection, as you can see, as the light shifts over the dial, to the gorgeous stylized broadsword rose gold hands at center and the beautiful heat-blued lancet second and subdial hands. There's a great interplay of texture, depth, and color here that really brings this watch to life. And likewise, the same level of beauty obtains on the Geneva seal finish of the display caseback. Now, you're looking at Vacheron's in-house automatic caliber 2475 Geneva hallmark standard. All of the good stuff is here. You can see this beautiful clou de Paris guilloche pattern on the winding rotor. It is a highly efficient unidirectional winding system, so it tops off its roughly 43-hour power reserve quite quickly. This is an efficient daily wear watch with the ultimate daily use complication of a day and a date and the power reserve scale to keep track. What you also get is a modern watch architecture, because the 2450 family of calibers from which this one is spawned debuted in the mid-2000s specifically to power the Jubilee watches, so in a very real sense you have the ultimate manufacturer distinction of a movement that's built and sized for the case in which it's held. Now, it has a nice modern 4 Hz beat rate, 27 joules, entirely in-house. It is nice, thin, and fine, and in spite of its modern technological standards, it does include all of the traditional elements. Beneath the guilloche winding rotor, you can see, let me get good reflection here, of the striated Côte de Genève on the bridges themselves, the dressage on all of the wheels, and there's a gorgeous, very thin and fine, almost micro-polished edge to each bridge that conforms to the highest standards of Geneva anglage under a loop, and that's really what you need to get the best of this movement. You can see that those razor edges are actually rounded, polished, and optically smooth to a mirror shine, just like all the screw heads themselves, which are chamfered around their edges and slotted down their centers. A tremendous amount of value is invested in the finishing of this movement, and it's been said that in Vacheron calibers such as this 2475, up to 1/3 of the value of the entire watch is invested in the finishing of the movement. From the look of the watch, the feel of the watch, the satisfaction of holding it on the wrist and examining it under the loop, I can tell you it was time well spent. You can see this Vacheron Constantin Jubilee 1755 limited edition of 501 pieces on our website, watchyouwant.com.